Okay, so let's move to the next topic, that is abstract class. Okay,
Okay.
uh, yes, what do you okay, and say you Python 5 abstract class. Ready. Yeah, now first we look, let's take an example. Okay, now let's take an example of hospital. Okay, so this is hospital A.
Yeah.
Okay, now inside this hospital, I have some words. Uh, like you can say OPD, OPD, ENT, then you can say ortho, then you have dental, or some more words like that. Okay,
Yeah.
and now some of the words are working. Like this is working, this is not working, this is working, this is not working, this is working, this is not working. Okay,
Yeah.
so this hospital has infrastructure in which three words are working and three are not.
Yeah.
Okay, similarly to this hospital, we have hospital B. Okay, okay, and similarly it has three words, six words again. Okay, and all are working. All
Yeah.
words are working in hospital V. Okay, so hospital A is an incomplete and
Yeah.
hospital B is a complete hospital. Now, if we talk about the abstract classes, the same applies to that as well. That is class which is not having the complete functions created inside it, that becomes an incomplete class. And the interpreter will not allow you to make the object of that particular class. Okay? And
Okay.
if we have a full complete generated class with all the functions having the executive statements and their operations specified, that become a complete class.
Yes.
Okay? Now, what we'll do, we will look into that how actually this incomplete and complete classes is going to work and how this abstract class are going to be implemented over here. Okay, so the same way I will make a class hospital A. Okay, now a OT. Okay, let's say just right now I'm saying just pass. Say def ortho. Again I say just pass, okay, and say def ENT. Again I say pass. Say def OPD. Okay, again say pass. Now we have to change this to our abstract class. Okay,
Yeah.
so how we can do that? We need to import package, say from ABC import ABC. Okay, now I have to pass here ABC.
What is ABC?
It's the inbuilt thing.
Okay.
Okay, say class ABC that provides standard way to create a ABC using inheritance. You will see now I'm inheriting this ABC class over my class. Okay, now here I say abstract method. Okay, the same thing, same thing. and same thing. This is a way of doing, you can say make a say abstract method, or you can say abstract uh, in Python. These are known as decorators.
Decorators.
Yes, decorators, or you can say annotations. Okay,
Okay.
just for the time being, we are just using these decorators, or so you can say annotations like this way.
Yeah.
Okay, so now these methods are now abstract methods, which means that the definition of these methods are going to be existing in some other classes.
Yeah.
Okay, now so instead of having all the abstract methods, what will I do? I will make two functions working like, say, print in ent function. Okay, and the same way I will do for this in opd function, and I will just delete this. Now two functions are working, and two are not.
Yeah.
Okay, now, and I have already told you that you cannot make an object of the abstract class. Okay, suppose if I want to make an object, say, say a equal to, okay, and I say a dot. Now suppose if I run this like simple way, uh, mm, now you see, can't initiate abstract class hospital A without an implementation of abstract methods OT and ortho. It
Yeah.
is saying that you have to implement this function.
Yes.
Okay, now here comes our new class that is known as hospital B. Okay, now what will I do? I will say hospital A. Okay, now when I do this, I have to make two functions like def OT. I just say print in OT function of hospital B.
Yeah.
And similarly for ortho, okay, and I just write simple print statement in ortho function of hospital B. Now, apart from this, this hospital can have its own extra words like say cardio. Okay, and I will just in cardio function of hospital B. Now, this cardio is an independent function of hospital B. Rest are being inherited from hospital A.
Yeah.
Okay, now what will I do? I will make an object of B equal to hospital B. And suppose if I run this, now you see it is not giving me any error,
Yeah.
because in this class hospital B functions are available global.
Yeah.
They, you can say, uh, they are having all the executive statements, or you can say I can make an object of this hospital B, and this is an incomplete class. Now, what is the motive of this thing? Can you tell me what is the motive of making the abstract class?
Sometimes you don't have everything available, so whatever code you can write for that particular class, you can write and then you can implement it in the future class that you can write.
Okay. Now the thing is that suppose you know that uh, ISO ISO mark.
Yeah,
Okay. What the theory of ISO? They say we don't want that what is the product you have made. They
yeah,
want that if here say yeah, they are not bothered about the product. They are bothered about the steps how you make it. They say if you follow their steps, the product will be definitely a good one.
yeah,
Okay, the same thing applies in the abstract class. Suppose if I want that, uh, if you want to call it as hospital, I want that you should have all the implementation of all the functions which are in the abstract class. Okay.
yeah,
Now, if you see over here, uh, here, now, whenever this hospital A is being inherited by any class,
yeah,
these two functions will always be there.
yes,
Okay, these are okay. This will be the thing that will be there, but these are the mandatory functions.
yeah,
Now you see over here, I have write OT and ortho, but I have not write ENT and OPD.
yeah,
Okay, so these are the compulsory functions, or you can say words. Whenever any hospital, suppose hospital C is there and it is inheriting the hospital A, so it has to build these two words. It
yeah,
is compulsory.
yeah,
Rest they can ENT, OPD, they can send it to this class, but these two words has to be physically there like
yes,
this. So I have made the particular class a compulsory that you should have these two functions, otherwise you will not be called as hospital.
yeah,
Okay, so I made it compulsory. That's why we make abstract classes so that if any class is inheriting that class, that abstract functions should be there in the class that is inheriting that particular class.
yeah,
Okay, understand the topic?
yes,
Okay, so this is about the abstract class. So anybody can ask you that why we need abstract class. Now you know that why we need abstract class.
yeah,
Okay, to make the functions that are abstract to be mandatory in the class which is inheriting that abstract class.
yeah,
Okay, they can ask you that the class which is inheriting the abstract class, can it has its own independent functions? The answer is yes, it can has its own independent functions as well,
yeah, like cardio.
like cardio. Okay, okay,
Yeah,
so let's move forward. Say I will say uh, we will see returning functions. Okay, returning functions. Okay, now def create underscore adder. Now here x. Now this is a function inside a function. Now say def adder y. It will return x plus y and say return error. Okay. Now, how do I use this? Say add underscore 15 equal to create adder 15. Okay. And I will say print add 15 10. Okay. Now the result will be a 25.
Can you
Yeah.
explain me
Yes,
once
yes,
again?
I know that it is a little bit of a confusing thing. Now it is a
Yeah.
function. You can say function can return another function. I am in this function, this is a create header, this is a main function, and I am returning this function in the end.
Okay.
Okay, now what I have done, create header, I have passed the value 15. Okay,
Yeah.
what I want to know this here, create header 15. This is the step. Okay, and in the add 15, this is a function name, and I'm passing 10. What is it is adding both of these values. You will see when I implement it, it will be more clear. The thing is that in the Python, function can return another function.
Okay.
See, this is one function, and this is the main
Yes.
function which is returning this function. Now, if I click on this, now it will move here. You see, if I move my cursor here and control plus left click, the cursor will move here. So, this is the function I'm returning. This is known as function returning another function. Okay, you it will be more clear than when we will use it. I just want to give you an introduction that it's a main question in the Python that function can return function. Yes, function can return function.
Yeah.
Okay, now let's move to the next topic that is known as decorators. Like we have used annotation like at abstract.
Yeah.
Okay, now say you can say annotation or you can say decorators, both are the same thing. Let us demonstrate that. Okay. Uh, say decorators study. Okay, now I will make a class division, make a function def divide by self a comma b output equal to a slash b return output. Okay. Okay. Now if I use this say d equal to division, I will say print d dot divide by say 56 and say 0. Okay. Now
Yeah.
I completely know that it will give me an error.
Yeah.
Okay. I completely know that it will give me an error. Suppose if I run this. Okay. Now here says 56, it says three arguments. Uh, yeah. Okay. Now, now division by 0.
Yeah.
Okay. Now to avoid this type of exception, what I will use, I can use my decorator. Okay, so let's make that decorator here. Now, def smart underscore div and say function. Okay, now def inner a comma b. I say print uh, dividing two numbers a and b, sorry, two numbers a. Okay, now if I say if b equal to 0, say print division not possible. Okay, and just quit. Okay, now here I just say return function a comma b, and here return inner. Okay, now this is a decorator, this is a inner function, this is a condition, this is a return function a and b, and this will be the return inner here. It is a function inside this main function. Now I will apply this annotation. Uh, just a minute, Tanu.
Yeah.
Yeah, there. Okay. Yeah. Now I will apply this. Can say annotation and say decorator at the rate smart div. Now I have called this decorator. Okay. Now if I run this, now you see division two number. Now division not possible. You see, it simply goes here and says, okay, if b is equal to 0, then printing division is not possible. Suppose if I go with say 2 and say run, now you see,
Yeah.
okay, so this is known as decorator, or you can say annotation, and how to apply like this. That's why I have told you about that returning functions.
Okay.
Okay, it's a like a function returning the another function. Now here I have just passed the two variables. If b is equal to 0, it just quit here. Okay, then it will just return that principal division not possible. Simple as that.
Yeah,
But if it b is not equal to 0, it will return this function. It will go here.
yeah,
But if b is equal to 0, it will quit here at this instant.
yeah.
Okay,
Okay.
so this is how we apply, you can say, decorator, and how we can make a own, you can say, decorator as well. So
So
this is
smart div
known.
is basically a function that we are calling in the class division, and we are
It's
providing the logic.
it's a decorator. You cannot say it's a function. It's a decorator.
Okay,
It is a function, but it is called as decorator.
okay,
Okay, that is being applied on this function. Whatever the function I will write, it will check. It will check. See, suppose, mm, say now def say multiply
yeah,
and say a comma b. Okay, and say output equal to a multiply by b. Just a minute, my daughter has come in.
yeah,
Yeah, there.
yeah,
Okay, now suppose if I return output, okay, any error. Okay, okay. Now suppose if I applied this as well here. Okay, now d dot multiply. Now if it is a equal to b, okay, now if I now you can see, but if it's 0, if instead of
yeah,
division, I can say uh, simple, not possible. You can say calculation, anything, not possible. So it will be a common decorator.
yeah,
Okay, so I can use this decorator because the you can say your functionality is over here. I just you made this decorator for checking that the second number is, you can say, 0 or not.
yeah.
Okay, so I can use apply this decorator as many times as I want.
Okay. And
Okay,
why are we passing f function in that decorator? Funk. Yeah.
in which line?
Smart div first line.
Yeah.
Yeah, we are passing f function, right?
Uh, no, no, it can be anything.
Okay.
Okay. Now, basically, we are passing the function. Basically, we are passing the function, but
Yeah.
it can be anything. It's just a
Okay.
name. It's just a name.
Got it. Okay. So we can just rename it to anything, right?
Let's do it. Even I don't have, I have not tried. Now let's run this. Not possible. Okay,
Yeah.
running. Okay, so
Okay.
you can name it as anything as you want. It's just the same thing. It is returning.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, now this is known as decorators. Now we will study new generators. Okay, generators study. Okay, say def numbers and say anything. I will pass say numbers. Now result. Now what is this result? We have studied about this thing.
This is 1 second. So the tuples are bracket. Before that, we studied list.
Yes,
List.
it's a list. It's a list.
Yeah.
Okay. Now for I in number result dot append. Now suppose if I want to get a cube of particular list of the particular list of you can say elements in the list. I say I I. So this is the cube. If I multiply it by three times I into I, say two into two into two. Okay,
Yeah.
and say I will say return result. Okay, now I'm returning the list. Now what will I do? Num equal to numbers. Now I'm will passing the list. Say 1, comma 2, comma 3, comma 4, comma 5. Okay. Okay. Now and then I say print num. Okay. Now if I run this, you see it will give me the cube of everything. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah.
Okay. Now what can I do? I can do it with the more way. Say print say def number and no for a in number. This is the keyword known as yield.
Okay.
Say a into a into a. Okay. Now I say nums equal to number. That is numbers. Now I have say number. Different function. Okay. Again, I will just say passing the same thing. Okay. And say for I in nums print I. Okay. Now if I run the code, now you see it will give me different in the different way.
Yeah.
Okay. Here I have this is the main keyword. Uh, you can say the yield statement can be used to omit the parentheses, the yield mm, generator function. when defining a generator function and are only used in the body of the generator function. Okay, it's a just a say now here what I have done result here now for I number result do this now numbers I have passed my list and I will get the list. But here what I have done number for a I just change it to yield thing. Okay, so it will get the can say every number in a different way, or you can say
Yeah.
in different 1, 8, 27. Now it's in the list, and now I have my numbers separated. It's just a thing that yield is like you can say uh, when it's a when defining a generator function. Okay, I just say yield a into a. I just say a into a. I will just a into a four times. Okay, whatever the numbers I will pass. Okay, suppose uh, I will pass like simple. Now I am just experimenting, but it will not work because I have to give it in a way like say here or just say our number like 4. Okay, now say run. Now you see it's not iteratable. So we have to go for the iteratable thing like list.
Okay.
Okay, the int is not iteratable, so we have to go for the thing that is iteratable. You know iteratable that okay that has length like it has length
Yeah.
like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So so that it can iterate. Now if I want
Yes.
to go for the single, then I have to pass this like this. Okay. So you have to go for things that is iteratable.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, all these things are going, I have to revise.
Yes, these all are the things that are good for the interview point of purpose. Now, what the other
Yeah.
guys do, they just give you introduction of Python in 1 or 2 days, and they will move to the Selenium. I'm not that type. I have to go for the Python basics first.
Yeah.
Okay, so these are all are good interview questions because they will test you because you are going as a fresher, maybe or maybe as a you can say experience level, but they will ask you these types of questions. They will you can say test you that you have the knowledge of Python or not.
Yeah.
Okay,
Sure.
so mm, okay, so let's move to the next topic uh, and say exception study. Okay, now say dev div method and passing a comma b result equal to a divided by b, and I will return result. Okay. Say now I will say print div method say 2 comma 0. Now I know that it will give me an error. Okay, reason by 0. Okay, now to remove this error I will say result none try result equal to a divided by b. Okay, and accept exception as e print e. Okay, now suppose if I run this now, None. Division by
Yeah.
0. Okay, whether it is 0. Now suppose some guys, what will it do? They will just say we will here, because they are just thinking about the error thing. Now suppose if I run this, okay, again the same thing, because this is the error. Now suppose if this is a 1, now what?
Yeah. Still that.
Okay, so you have to return the result, can say here, uh, return result. Okay, so if it is clear, so you can, okay, so this is a try, so you can say try catch in Java and try except in here
Yeah.
your Python.
What does
Okay,
result equal none mean?
none, so, I'm passing the none value, the sole value of the type none type. None is a frequently used to represent the absence of a value. Default arguments are not. I don't want to give anything here. I suppose if you want to say print type result. Okay, now say run class none type.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's a, you are not assigning anything to it.
Basically, it's a declaration how we do null.
Yeah, basically it's a declaration
Okay.
that is none. That I have not given anything, not integer, not anything type.
Okay.
Okay, so should I halt here or I move forward?
Yes. I am not able to understand too much of this and
Yeah,
I need to practice. So, yeah.
yeah, it is. Uh, you have 5 topics, and these are
Yeah.
big topics, and these are the most, decorators are the most asked interview question. And after that, abstract class, okay, generators is
Yeah.
okay, returning functions. If you suppose they will ask you question about decorators, you answer it. They will go to the abstract.
Yeah.
You answer it, okay. Then they go to the generators. Then they go to the returning functions. So decorators
Sure.
and abstract class are on the same path.
Got
That's
it.
on the same
Okay.
level. That what, why we need abstract classes, what is the need of abstract classes, can we make an object of the abstract classes, so why do we need abstract classes, so what are decorators, how we can use the decorators, what are decorators for. Okay, so you need to have all the examples in your mind for why we need decorators. Okay, to
Yeah.
check that okay, that I have make a simple function and I suppose a divided by b, a multiply by b, a plus b, or a minus b. B should not be 0, so I might make a new decorator in which I will check that b is 0 or not. Otherwise, it will not, it will return not possible.
Okay.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
So it's all things has to be there in your mind.
Yeah.